Well, let's try and fit in a game of rapid chess. 2149, good luck. So that's also a premium member there. Very old account, excellent. Goals are really rock solid. Okay, let's just play a normal d4 game then. I normally do this, don't I? Okay, I need the audio up a little bit. I'm struggling to hear some of them moves. Now and again, I don't realise it's my move because I haven't heard. Okay, choose to charge the centre. We can take that. We can defend it. I think I'll just defend it there then. Queen up to meet queen up if we end up in that sort of position. Otherwise, we're just trying to castle. Okay, now do I want to get my bishop up and then pawn up? Do I want to take? I'm not sure. Like, say bishop up, might get queen up. We might end up doing this. We might take. Could get a bit messy actually, couldn't it? It could get a little bit messy. I'm actually just going to take the pawn. Okay, now I'll play up, and then I just have to decide if I'm going to trade or here and maybe drop back. So he's gone to castle. Okay. I wonder if knight into move here takes. It looks it, doesn't it? But I'd rather be going here really. Now let's just get our knight moved. We can always jump across and really charge the centre. I'm kind of committed to trade here. You know, the bishop can't easily retreat. Okay, he's launched for space on the other side of the board. Logical. Now, the move I was looking at was to come here and hit the bishop and say what you're going to do. Now, that suggests he might be going this way and not the slightest bit concerned about the pin. Fair enough. Can I launch here? Takes, then takes here. I assume queen takes, then knight takes, back, takes, and we've dealt with our pawn here. So that looks to be a move. It's weakening this, so if I'm missing something, he can keep the bishop on the board. There's pressure here instead of playing e3, but e4 is a little bit bold, a little bit more attacking. Knight takes, take the queen. I don't see there's any tricks there. Let's just gamble and do it and play e4. There might be a trick that I'm missing, but I don't see it. You can only play what you see. Oh, so he's gone back. He's gone for the ultra solid line. Okay. Well, I'm quite happy to play endgames with anyone and everyone. So if I take here, he might go with a pawn. Same if I take with the knight. But my knight is actually loose, isn't it? So if he goes with a pawn, I guess we just drop back. Let's just take the knight and maybe come back somewhere. If he goes with the bishop, we could just trade and then rook across and challenge for the file. He has gone with the pawn. So if I play here, he just gets a free development move. So we might as well come back too. We cover this. We're still preparing a rook to come across. Not sure if it matters which one. Bishop here might be a move, but his pawn is very well protected there, very well guarded. It might be better to do this and leave this rook here, I don't know. Just instinctively you'd bring your other rook to the centre, but it might be better doing the F rook. And then try and give my king some space this side, I'm not sure. And knight across. If bishop down, I think we're fine to take. So knight across, if we trade, he can just gain a free tempo, gaining space, and that's kind of what he's doing there. So here, bishop up, he can move. Oh, if he went there though, I could play a bishop here and trade the bishop. Yeah, but I don't have to take here, but that's very annoying, so I'm going to take. Now I'm looking at this move just to activate this rook. I don't think the bishop's going to get here in a hurry, so I'm going to activate the A rook. It might have been a mistake. It might have been that I meant to do this one in case the bishop comes here and it's a bit of a nuisance, but I think he needs a lot of moves before he can try and challenge a pawn with a bishop. Unless, again, I'm missing something, which I could easily be doing. Excuse me. What's he done? He's played rook forward. So if I go here, it gives me a chance to blunder, or does it? So he takes, I take, he takes the bishop, I check, he steps up, and he's very, very good. So if I take and he takes here, I can activate my rook. That looks pleasant. But he gave me a chance to blunder there, moving a bishop out quick. And that's sometimes one of the things you do in chess. You just make moves, and if your opponent's not concentrated, they just blunder. That's how a lot of amateur games get settled. Bishop here looks potentially nice. Pawns can't push. You've got the back rank threat. So what does he do? Bishop here or here? You'd expect one of them to stop the check. I think probably here. And then he's protecting everything. That's what he's done. I'm just wondering if I can go here and come in now, but there's no way to easily get in, is there? The rook's not getting in here in a hurry, but equally he's going to unwind this position. I might be better just pushing a pawn, but it doesn't do a lot. Oh, if I go here, I guess he could actually push up too. Then here, then he can push again. So am I better launching this then? Take, take. Trade, trade seems fine. I'm not sure, not sure. That's the move I kind of want to do, but maybe bishop here, threatening to come in. That looks like a nice move. If he comes here, here, take, take. Oh, he's got to watch out bishop hitting the rook as well. Let's go here. So if he pushes it again, the rook would hang. So he can't push there in one move. And we're threatening bishop here. He might play rook here. I guess I can try and line up this sort of concept. But again, he doesn't easily have rook across because of my two bishops. And then at some point, I probably want to push a pawn, give my king another square. But instinctively, I'd rather push the f pawn. But he might get this big, strong center. That's what he's gone for here, just edging forward. So bishop here now. Trade, trade. He's still solid, isn't he? I'm just going to edge a pawn forward here, so if he pushes, I've got the option to counter push. He might just activate his king now, I guess, and then... yeah, this is where my king's a bit stuck here, and I'm well down on the clock again, but I am in most of my rapid games, to be fair. That's what he's gone for. So if I don't do this, I might not get another chance to, but equally, he can't go there. Let's just push the pawn up one. I don't see how I get my rook forward anywhere. Everything's covered and I can't come across this side. So I'm kind of forced to do this at some point. But take, take, and he still feels solid. Rook here, rook here. He might have to go back. But bishop takes isn't a trick because he takes and he guards the rook. It might allow the rook around the back, but again he can go here. Everything's just solid for a minute. He's really solid. Difficult to break out, but solid. But he's got the potential center control. Pawn down, pawn down. So I might need to look at a move like bishop back and more centralize my bishop. But as soon as I come back, it might release his pawn here. Not easy. I wonder if I should even go a4 to try and clamp this. a4 gives me a bit of a weakness here, whereas obviously the pawn chain feels rock solid, but it's still hard to progress in any way at all. He can just basically sit and hold, and I'm struggling to see a plan. Really struggling to see a plan. In fact, this might give him a target now when the pawns edge forward if he pushes on. What do I do? Bishop here? Oh, bishop here threatens a check. But he couldn't go to any of them. He'd have to go back. So bishop f3 could be a nuisance move, threatening a check. The Boden's mate type of system. With the two bishops. Yeah, he's come center, so this might actually be a strong move now, threatening to go here. You just create an immediate checkmate threat, right? He can come back here now, check, and he can come back here. And then maybe we've got bishop up. If I go here, he just pushes and he guards his pawn. So let's go here and threaten checkmate. Because the king couldn't then suddenly escape anywhere, thanks to the rook and the bishop. So he's mate threat. I think he might have to come back. I guess he could block with a bishop, actually. He could do that check and he can run behind the bishop. That might be fine as well. That might be annoyingly fine, actually, if he manages to suddenly run all the way across the board. But bishop here, maybe I can get away with taking this. Rook across, I can retreat and my pawn's protected. He just has to see a mate threat. Because obviously the bishop's cut the king's escape and the rook this side. But I think he will. I think he'll play a move like bishop up. So I can take... He's only really got one move. And I can just come back, right? And we've gained a pawn. So let's just take and come back. And then we're threatening the same check idea again. So we're threatening the same check again. He has to go here if we play it. But I don't see how I actually get to the bishop, because I can't get my bishop in one move. Like, bishop here threatens to win a pawn, but he could just run on again. If he pushes here, I can counter push, potentially. If his king goes here now, I can just play bishop in. So he can't do that in a hurry. But once I go check and he goes there, then I'd need two moves to create the same threat. So he's gone for that. So he's pushing me into this. So here, bishop here might be a move. Let's just play it then. He has to go here. So now is bishop here a threat? And say he just goes here. It doesn't win a lot, does it? If I go here, trade. Here, I guess he's just going to do this. Bishop here. Let's just play it because he has to move his king, I think. I'm just looking at whether I can play a bishop here. Trade, and say my king is fine. And if you push here, I can counter push. It's tricky to play, tricky. But we're threatening to win a pawn if he just ignores it, say he makes a random move. So I think he needs to step across. He can't step either of these. So he's found that move. So takes is not a thing. Takes is now not a thing. So what about just pushing here then? Let's gamble and try and push a pawn on. Let's just try and create a pawn if we can. Oh, mind you, I've just realised if he gets his king up, it releases his rook, doesn't he? If he gets this, it releases it. But right now he's got to guard his bishop or move it. But I'm just aiming to get myself a passed pawn here and try and push it up the board. It might become a lost pawn, of course it might. And then bishop here. Yeah, eventually he's going to unwind, but can we create a trick? Take and win something. That's what I'd like. I don't see it. I can take here. He can take with a pawn. I can come here and hit the rook. But I think I might be better just pushing and pushing. Take. Yeah, I think I'm better pushing and pushing. Just try and create a passed pawn. But if these two move now, my bishop is loose. But if he moves the bishop anywhere that allows me to take with a check, or even go there with a check, I can get out of Dodge City, I hope. He's desperately trying to get his pieces active, get them onto useful squares like what mine are. And if he's got a defense and he does it, then it could completely turn just like that. Here, I think I still just go here and keep this relatively closed if I can. But I don't see the trick, like the rook sacrifice, king takes, and we're not attacking the rook. So I'm just trying to do this right now, get these solid and even just push on again and push on again. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. Right, the cursor's off the board, so there's no accidental mouse slips. He can't play king back to d8 because then I can take the pawn, unless he wants to do that to open things up, but that would just collapse his position, I think. He can't run there without me taking the bishop, unless there was a trick. He's got this if this pawn is forward. So if he pushes that, he's threatening a trick where I take. It might end up being two bishops for a rook, for instance. So I've just got to be careful. And if I go here, he can move out the way with a check as well. That's the risk of pushing my pawns. So I might end up being in a position where I have to play a bishop in, trade. Then it just gets a lot more simpler for him to play. And I'm trying to obviously keep him under time pressure as much as I can as well. But if he's a good skilled bullet player, he could be fine here, a minute and a half. There's a lot of time for a bullet player. Yeah, he's played the bishop up to go for that. So if I push up now, takes just messes my position up. But can I keep them on the board? Just go here now and hit the pawn. He can go back. Take, or I can go here, but I'll walk into this discovery nonsense. It's probably time to bail out and take and just march, I think. I think it's time to take and just march my pawn and just try and create a passed pawn. Again, if he plays king here, he's fine now, but my bishop does have an escape square right now. I want to keep this solid if I can. Here, probably counter push. Here, counter push. If the rook wanders off, then I can think about starting to go forward, but he can just attack us, so not easy. But my plan is obvious, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to do. Just march, march, and march either pawn. Here, if he takes, I could even potentially ignore it and just go on the outside. Depends if he's got any good moves here. I don't see them, but it doesn't mean they don't exist. So here, what we want to be careful of is this. Well, you know, he's just resigned. He's had enough of the game. He doesn't see a continuation. So we've got a very good win there against a strong player. So that's very, very good. Let's just review it then and just see what the engine review of the game actually is. It might have been just because he was getting low on time there.
Nice win. Let's review it together.
85.2 and 78, a 2000 and a 2350. And we've played nothing outstandingly well. We've just played it pretty well. The opening phase was good. Actually, that is good, isn't it? 98.8. But it's just, I don't know how many moves they count that as for the actual opening. And we just played it, you know, just how I would play at my normal level. Opponents played the opening perfectly, a full 100. But then he's gone wrong in the middle game and played the end game well. So we have actually got a blunder here, so we've missed something. So let's just review it. We've got a blunder here and we're losing. So somewhere here we've got a losing blunder and he hasn't punished it. And then we've built a gradual advantage. So let's just start this.
A flexible first move that develops a piece and controls e5.
We can see our blunder here. We can see it here.
Your opponent develops their bishop off its starting square. You permitted the opponent to eventually win a bishop.
Ooh, okay. So I went for this line and he moved quickly, didn't he? Ah, I think what I've missed is queen takes. If I play knight takes, he takes back with the pawn. And when I take back, he takes my bishop. The queen takes, and if I take back, he just simply takes my knight. I've just hung a piece for free. Oh, I've confused myself when I've played it. Either way, I lose a piece, and he's just moved quickly and missed it. He's just dropped back, hasn't he?
They missed a chance to tactically win a bishop.
Yeah, what a shock of a blunder that is. Now I see it back again. It's obvious. Apart from that one move, if he takes the queen, then I'm losing a piece either way. Even if I throw that into moving first, he takes back and he still attacks a piece. Oh, that's really careless. Wow.
The game was fairly balanced, but now your opponent's position has worsened. This seems like a mistake to me. Their better move was to move a bishop to safety. You still have an advantage, but no longer have a winning position.
Okay, so I should have played bishop in here. But what do you do after this? Maybe you go here and you want to trade on these terms and keep black completely tied down. I guess eventually you could push and do this.
Their better move was to develop a rook off its starting square. That pawn was yours for the taking. That's playable.
Yeah, plus 3.5 in the end, but he's down under a minute. If he's a skilled bullet player, he might have been able to play on. I might have just blundered somewhere. You never know, but he resigned, so we got a very good win, so excellent.